Hello, 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 and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to be diving into what I consider to be a very important topic, very alarming, and very telling of what this nation is up against. Now, of course, all over this planet, there are some tripped out things happening. Very, very tripped out. It is obvious that things are on their way down. And we're going to be getting into this subject right now. Now, a lot of people don't think about these things, and they don't think about the bigger picture either. The bigger picture is that something is brewing, right? There's definitely something brewing, and we're going to be getting into this topic. And I want you all to follow along with me. If you feel compelled to, please do share this live. And of course, some will see it on the replay, which is fine. They will see it on the replay. And I'm going to be sharing this as well. And I want you all to see how important these topics are, because the economy, it tells you what you need to be thinking about, right? But some people don't think that way. Okay, all of this stuff have reasoning behind it. It all has reasoning behind it, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people are just asleep right now. They are so asleep that they don't realize just how tough things can get very, very quickly. Okay. So what am I talking about today? I am talking about the fact that they don't want us to own anything, and they want us to be happy about it. They don't want us to own anything, and they want us to be happy about it. Ain't that something? And I also want to talk about the main part of this is the rise of built for rent housing, not just apartments, but even housing, single housing structures. In other words, they're building them specifically to rent. They are not building them for home buyers. Ain't that something? In other words, you see a new housing development popping up, and you're saying to yourself, well, maybe I can buy one of those. Maybe they'll be affordable. They are being advertised as affordable, but they're being advertised as affordable rent options. So what's going on is they're trying to take over everything. Let me explain how that works. So these homes that are being built for the purposes of rent and not for selling, what they are essentially doing is they are saying, we want to take over the rental market. So individuals who own real estate, we are going to run prices up so high to where they can't even afford to have the house as a rental. But major corporations who can afford to build 500, 1,000, 2,000 units, now they will be the ones who will take over the rental market. So some are trying to put this out there. Oh no, this is a positive thing. This is positive, right? But some have actually broke the code, and they realize what's up. Like someone in the chat says, rent is so expensive, right? And so do you think that these major corporations who are building these built for rent houses or apartments, do you think that they are going to be renting those out to just anybody? That's right, Greta. Greta in the chat says this is a very bad thing that's happening now. Right. Because guess what else they've knocked out of the box? And you can kind of see who is their target, right? Section 8. Why is it that a lot of landlords or homeowners are no longer accepting Section 8? So you see who the target is, right? They want folk homeless. They want you struggling And they know with all of that there's going to be a rise in other activities as well, because when people are hungry and homeless and things like that start to happen, it causes other things to happen. It causes people to go into survival mode. And when you go into survival mode, sometimes you do things that are against the law. So are y'all getting the bigger picture now? I'm seeing people dropping in the chat here that the rents are so high that it is ridiculous. Apartments starting at $1,700 a month and go as high as $2,500. And they said this is in drug-infested crime areas, high crime areas. Wow. So if they get rid of Section 8 and they make it impossible for normal average people to rent units, and they make it very possible for large corporations to build new units, and they slap that huge price on there. So if in drug infested areas are going $1,700 to $2,500, what do you think is going to happen with these newly built homes? $3,500, $3,000. So do you see what's happening? Greta also pointed out something that I've noticed as well. She says mobile homes are going for $100,000 in Michigan. So something that you used to be able to snag so cheaply is now out of reach. Another thing that I've noticed, Greta and everyone else in the chat, I've noticed even used mobile homes, the prices are so high that it is ridiculous. So y'all see what's happening here. Bovell pointed out the 15-minute cities. That's what the goal is. Now, if they have these 15-minute cities, it also seems to me that they are trying to lock certain people out of these 15-minute cities. So what do you do? What do you do with all those people that have nowhere to go? Because rents are too high, and you can't afford to be in the 15-minute city, and the rural areas are definitely out of reach. What do you do with those people? You see where I'm going with this? And now, this is not just affecting one demographic. It's not just so-called black people, but it's affecting a lot of people. One thing that I have known, and I have noticed, should I say. Let me address this real quick. Patty Brown wants to know what 15-minute cities are. They basically want people without transportation to where everything you need is within a 15-minute radius of you within your city. So you will have no need to travel outside of your city. Just everything within 15 minutes and walking distance. So you won't need vehicles or transportation. They're trying to keep people basically confined to a certain space or a certain area. And so it's really interesting the direction that things are going. Really interesting the direction that things are going. One thing that I'm noticing is that a lot of people of other nations who have family that owns land, what they are starting to do, and what I'm starting to see more and more, and I have talked about this before, y'all. I'm paying attention to all this stuff. We all need to get our eyes open, okay? These people who would have been considered middle class before, they are starting to say they can't afford a house either. And so if they have a mother or a grandmother or uncle or aunt or something like that that owns land, what they're starting to do is say, I'm going to put me a trailer, a tiny home, or something on my family land. I'm starting to see that so much. My husband and I, we watch these things, and we're not surprised by it, but we're starting to say, see, whenever we watch it, we say, see, these people get it. They know what time it is. They know what's up, right? They will park themselves a tiny home or a travel trailer or a small cabin or something on family land in a minute. And they have abandoned, and I'm not just going to say American dream, because we're seeing people in New Zealand and all over the place, because we watch Living Big in a Tiny Home quite a bit. And that young man who hosts the show is in New Zealand, right? So we are starting to see a lot of people going back to family land. And they're just putting up a cabin. They're not even trying to do nothing so magnificent that it will blow your mind. They're just trying to survive. Brown Queen says she's tried that, and it's crazy how even your family won't agree to it. Greta says a tiny home is all that a working class person can afford. Sister Fakriya says my co-worker's niece put a trailer on her mom's land. Yep. Hey, this is what it's boiling down to, right? Now, I'm going to say this too. I've been really looking and seeing that a lot of younger people, they are starting to take on the task of building their own. I've seen young women say, look, I built this whole thing by myself with a little bit of help from family here and there. And they'll tell you, hey, it took me a year or two, but I got it done, right? And they build the foundation first, then they box it in. Then when they can afford something else, they go ahead and close it up, put the roof on, all of that, and then they take it one step at a time. I really, really want to reiterate that it is time for us to get our minds right, because they are doing something. Something's happening. The world has changed. Lavis says that her husband and I talked about that. He has family in Mississippi with land, a mobile home. Few live on them. So even with mobile homes, y'all, you can get a used one that may be in disrepair. That's a lot cheaper at this point than, when I say mobile home, I'm talking about travel trailers. I've seen people actually convert those to tiny homes, making them more permanent, making them 4-season versus 3-season. Now, I've also heard this, and I get bothered when I hear people who are complaining about not being able to survive, saying that they wouldn't want to live in a tiny home. And I'm saying to myself, you can make those really nice. So imagine being able to get an RV or a travel trailer for less than $3,000, and it needs a little bit of work to it. You know, at least you got the trailer and the frame, right? So bit by bit, if you have to gut it, okay, so be it. But then you put your floors in 1 month. Then you say, okay, I'm going to redo the walls and the insulation this month, and then I'm going to do this the next month. Y'all see what I'm saying here? Right? And then if you want to change out some of the components, do that as well. Even putting in a small wood burning stove so that you don't have to depend on propane. I'm telling you right now, people need to get their minds in order, right? Get your minds in order, because this thing is happening very fast. Like I spoke not too long ago on this, that things seem to be happening faster than we thought. We spoke on this not long ago. It's been probably 2 or 3 weeks. With that being said, we don't have time to wait for the housing market to completely crash. Is in crashing mode right now. They've said that a lot of homes are sitting vacant because people do not have the money to afford it. Sunkissed in the chat says she's doing van life, building out of her van and plan to retire, relocate, ship it to Ghana. She says she can't afford to retire and live here in the States. So this is the story for a lot of people. Yeah, this thing is falling fast, y'all. It is falling fast. And this is why it's very important to be prayed up, asking the Most High for direction. Asking Him for a direction, because if you don't ask for direction, you'll find yourself being misdirected and doing things that you shouldn't be doing. But the one thing we cannot afford to do is sit in the seat of do nothing. I agree with what Lashid for you says. We need to learn trades in building, plumbing, electric, irrigation, farming, all of this stuff. We need to learn how to be self-sufficient and even figuring out things. While we have the internet, if there are certain systems that you have in place where you live, you need to find out what it is you can do to stay moving or running if you can't call on anyone else. Timothy says, someone asked my family, would we be interested in a mobile home for $65,000 in New Jersey? Oh my goodness. So a brand new one. Okay. Yeah. That's a lot of money to just, drop down, but depending on the size, it could be a good deal. If it's a real small one, I've seen smaller ones actually cheaper than that. But folk need to start thinking outside of the box. I've seen a lot of people in some of the various shows that we watch who think outside of the box, and they are using raw materials to build things, and they're doing things that are, you wouldn't think were possible. They're using recycled materials. They're buying old lumber from this place, a building that was torn down. They're just kind of using materials where they can. Well, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm a bargain hunter. We like to hunt for bargains. A lot of things that we have are used. I've said this many times before, but we will buy things on Facebook Marketplace. You see, because some things don't need to be new. They just don't. Of course, there are some things you can't get used, but for those that you can, why not? Because it's going to be very important that we utilize what we have while we can, because this system is falling so fast, and they are literally trying to make people homeless. That's what I feel. They don't want us to own anything, and they want us to be happy about it. The rise of this built for rent thing, it just kind of explains things. They made it to where they said those who were benefiting from Section 8, a lot of them are starting to just do vacation rentals. I've seen so many homes that used to be regular rentals, they're now vacation rentals. A lot of people are just pulling out altogether. And so many changes are happening so fast, y'all. We better get with the program. But first and foremost, above all, is we need to put our faith and trust in the Most High, right? He will lead us and guide us in the path that we are to be on. Everyone has a different path. Everyone has a different path, right? And it's very important that you keep your eyes and ears open for the path He has for you. Very important. Again, I didn't want to be before you too long on this. I just wanted to share this whole built for rent thing that's just tripping me out. You can't even buy these homes. You see, they're building them, but they are not building them so you can become a homeowner. They are building these homes so that these major corporations can control the rent. That's what they're doing. And that is really tripped out. But that's the direction the world is headed in. So, I am done with this, y'all. Those of you who are going to watch this on the replay, you can leave your comments. Keep it tight and keep it right. But until next time, I'm done. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.